That little hack made a huge difference, going from feeling like we needed a new fridge to it now saying that we're 20 degrees cooler, even though today is hotter. So the fridge is 20 degrees cooler just from that one change. The RV fridge can be a fickle thing. The other day we were having a hard time keeping the temperatures down and having it work properly. Right now I have a temperature sensor sitting in there and the freezer is sitting at 14.3 degrees and the fridge is right around 32, 33 degrees inside. The other day we were having a hard time just keeping the freezer at 32. Things were not staying frozen in there. So today I want to show you what I did to flip the script from it not working well to it now having good temperatures inside and working well for us. I should mention that we have an absorption refrigerator, and the problem that we're having is this side of the RV is just getting blasted with sun for half the day, and it's just too hot outside in order for the fridge to cool properly. And the way that these fridges work is we need to have air movement through this bottom vent and to be able to come out that top vent. So we do have fans that are back behind this fridge in order to help that cooling process, to get the air in the bottom and get some of that hot air to go out the top. So let's access those fans so that we can get those working a little bit more. So with that off, you can see our fans running in the back here. It's pulling that air from the bottom and letting that hot air come out the top. That's what we want them to do. There is a little thermostat at the top here. When it gets to temperature, it turns it off, but we need more air movement in order for it to cool better, and that's what worked for us. So the little hack that I did, you can add more fans in here, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but if you just need to get it up and going and you need more air movement, so you just need it to be more of a constant air movement, is you can bypass this thermostat right here. So what I did is I took those two wires off of the thermostat. I took one of my spare fuses that I had and I just plugged those connections right onto the fuse. So that way they're just gonna run nonstop. That thermostat is not gonna turn it off and turn it back on like it typically would in a normal situation, but we're gonna get more air movement because of that, and now the fridge is working much better. So that's just a little hack where you can get these fans to be more active for you. If you're in a situation where you need these fans to be more active all the time, I would recommend getting another fan that you can turn off and on for these type of situations, so you're not gonna overuse these fans and just have them on all the time. That may not be a good permanent solution, but adding a fan back here to be able to supplement more air movement is gonna be a good long-term solution. But this little hack will get you out of a pinch and get that fridge working much better. The other thing you might be asking is this little board back here. If you want that air to be able to go cold in and hot out, why are you blocking the majority of it? Well, the thing is, we want that air to be able to pass by these fins. We don't want it to bypass and coming out the bottom of this vent and not come out the top of the vent and not cool off the fins that are up there. So that's why RV manufacturers put in this piece of wood to be able to direct that air to be able to come out the top. The thing, my complaint with RV manufacturers, my little rant here, is why make this difficult for servicing the back of the fridge? I get it, when you're building it, you slap this board on before you put the fridge in, and all that is going to hypothetically work properly. And we sometimes need to get to the back of the fridge here. So making this panel removable, I guess, is another hack. You're getting a 2-for-1 price here. I cut this out so it's the right size, and then I put these little tabs on there so that I can attach this to that. So now I can slide it right into place. I do put screws into the top because otherwise with the wind, it'll start bouncing back and forth and you'll hear it on those windy days. So those 2 screws keep this thing from moving, and it keeps it functioning so that air can come out properly on top of that top vent. So for another option to cool off the back of your fridge, you can also try and create some shade back there. So I'm sure you've seen these where people mount these to their awning to cool off the front of the RV. You have a place to sit outside. Well, you can use this around the fridge to try and give you some shade and get rid of some of that direct sunlight. So it may not always work being able to mount it or have a place to have it outside, or if it gets too windy, that may not be a good option. But you can always put another fan back there that you can control like I talked about. So we have one in the back. So we have this here that we can just turn on and turn off. You can turn it up, you can turn it down. I need to mount it in a little bit better spot so that it's gonna work better for us and cool off those fins even better, but that's a better permanent solution. They now make fans that fit right inside here. They're really thin, they can pull air in, they can push air out, so there's options out there for adding fans to the back of your fridge. But you also wanna make sure that your fridge is working the best that it can on the inside. The thing that you want to look for here is make sure that your seal is sealing, so that way it's not letting the cold air out or letting the warm air in. So if that seal is not working, it's not going to be working very well, like me leaving this door open. Also, on the inside of the fridge, I'm sure you've heard it, you don't want to have it overly packed. If it's too packed in there, it's not going to be functioning well. It's not able to have that air kind of circulation in there. And you can add a fan in there to try and make it more consistent throughout. So that way you don't have warm spots, cold spots, and that air is able to get through there. So not too packed, and adding a fan in there can help. But hopefully you never need this tip and your fridge is always working perfectly. But if you ever come into a situation where you need to ramp it up, this might just save the food inside of your fridge and help you not ruin an RV trip out there. So anyways, I think that's gonna do it for today. We always have more tips and tricks coming your way and more hacks that we've done. That means in the past, which we have done hacks in the past, but we will have more in the future. We always have more things coming out. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Hit subscribe if you wanna see more. And if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will. See you next video.